Hello, everybody. Another take one. We are doing this a little bit differently today. You can see a multiple one of me here, there on the screen. Hi, Christian. How are you?
Hello, Saeed. Yes, very good, thank you. Looking forward to this new setup.
So, the reason that I'm doing this is that we have been doing a lot of what do you call it? A lot of road shows, as you know. We had a European road show. We had one that you just finished in London yesterday, 13th and 14th of December. And it's been a good experience for me personally because I get to see the representatives from different developers. And I just had a very interesting interaction with Azizi. And that's why I wanted to share the map of Azizi and a whole lot of projects that they have in Dubai. I
Great
don't
idea.
know if you have seen this one before by any chance.
I have seen this one before, and it was actually in Azizi's office.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first when we went to Dubai. The first place that we went to was Azizi office. They had an event. We went to Conrad Hotel. It was buzzing actually there. Do you remember that?
It was very, very busy, wasn't it? A lot of very, very impressive developments at really affordable prices, and it set a really good standard for the trip, Saeed, I've got to say.
Yeah, sure. So just again to give you a quick sort of context and do a bit of a benchmarking. When we landed in Dubai, we were there, Emirates, they flew in Terminal 1, but all the airports were there. The future of Dubai airport, that's going to be there, right over all the way, almost the two farthest possible places in Dubai at the moment. But you can see it's already there, it's operational, and it's going to be fully completed, I want to say in a few years, but it's already a fully commercial airport for sure. And I have said this a few times. The first time I came to the UK back in 2014 was with Qatar Airways, and it was from that airport. But anyways, here is the Sheikh Zayed Road, the downtown, the tallest tower in the world. That's located over there. And this is Sheikh Zayed Road. So you, Christian, you have been on metro, right? You went
Yes.
there around Conrad actually done that first day, and you ended up going to all the way to Dubai Marina. Do you recall that? I wasn't with you, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So the reason that I say this is because there is this area over here, which is, let me try. I don't know what you can see here, but it is Jebel Ali Free Zone, which is between Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jebel Ali. This area is called JAFSA, Jebel Ali Free Zone, and they do have, Azizi has recently launched 7 towers within 6 months due to the popular demand and a very good success that they had in Jebel Ali Downtown. And these are not high speaking. I don't know how you categorize it exactly. Maybe low rise, I would say, or maybe mid rise. Low rise, perhaps.
Low rise.
Ground floor, 3 podium, and 8 stories. So they have had 7 of these buildings that they have launched recently. And I think due to the proximity to this Jebel Ali port, there are a lot of companies that are working there. If you're into different tournaments, the DP, Dubai Port, is one of those companies that they sponsor a lot of sport events. I don't. Have you ever heard of DP? Have you ever seen their sign or sponsorship anywhere? I know you're into sports.
DP?
Yeah.
Yes, they sponsor the European Golf Tour. DP
Yeah, I
World
think
Tour.
so. I'm not really good with the sports, so I like to always leave you in charge of those things. But they do sponsor a lot of golf course events and,
Yeah.
cars and different.
What does DP stand for?
It's Dubai Port, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So that's one. And let me see if I can share another one. Okay, right over here. I wanted to share the master plan of this project, which is basically Jebel Ali Downtown. So let me go back to my camera. Let me see if I can share my screen. And I'm sorry, guys, this is chaotic, but we do not have a huge production budget, and that's why we have to do this in a very, very friendly manner, if you will. So can you see this screen? Can you see something called Jebel Ali Master Plan plot area?
I certainly can.
All right, there you go. So I'm sharing this screen here. And let me see if I can minimize your beautiful face from there. Go down there. So this is the area that I was trying to talk about. So here, this building, Azizi Aurora, I don't know if I can ask you as we speak right now, Christian, can you go to your Google Maps?
Yes.
And I want the viewers possibly do that too. Go to Google Maps and type in Azizi Aura, Aura. When you do that, you can actually see this beautiful building, which has been completed for a few years. and you can see the amenities. It's kind of a basic, it's on more of like a affordable housing. I would personally recommend this building for people who are investors. If you want the maximum kind of ROI, this is the kind of building you want to go for. If you're thinking about it, living it yourself, this may not be the ultimate option, especially if you're from Europe or from UK, for example. I don't know, does that make any sense when I say that, Christian, to you?
So I'm doing as instructed. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the building. I can see why you're saying it from a few points of view, but tell me why work from an investor's point of view.
Okay, that's a very good question. So another thing I'm going to ask you guys to do as we speak right now, are you familiar with, well, I'm sure you're familiar with Rightmove, Zoopla here in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So similar application or platforms in Dubai, we have Dubizzle, we have Property Finder, we have Bayut. I don't know if I can ask you to do this. Either you can go to your app store right now, if you're an iPhone user, download Property Finder. There is no affiliation, guys. This is not a plugin. This is simply to tell you how you can do the research and due diligence yourself. You can either go to Google and search it or download the application from App Store. Which one is easier for you right now to do, Christian?
Either, really. There's no.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want, go to Google and type in Property Finder, like your actual Google Property Finder, Azizi Aura Studio for rent. And this is because I want to give the answer to your question. Why am I saying that this is a very good investment opportunity? You know, if you're an investor, not like an end user for this one. When you go there, as you're doing the research, I'll be talking a little bit. When you do a research, I've done this in the last 2 days extensively, so I'm kind of prepared here. When you do the research, you will see that they have on Property Finder, they have 13 units available right now on the market that is available for rent. The studio flats are ranging between 65 to 78,000 dirhams. If you have a calculator next to you, you can divide that number by 5, roughly, to give you the great sterling pound numbers, the British pound. Where are you right now? Are you with me? Are you doing any of these things?
I am currently sitting on Property Finder very quickly, and I've got a few apartments that are available starting at 550 dirham, working out at about
you're looking at the
£110,000.
sales prices, you're looking at sales, which is fantastic. And if you look at the rent, because I want to start by finding out how much is the rental of a unit in one of these buildings, in the ready one, the Aura that is ready right now, just to give you an idea how much it's going to, what is the going rate right now in the market? Yeah.
100,000 dirham a year, so around about 20,000 a year.
Yeah, I think you're looking at a 2-bedroom. That's a 2-bed. There are
Studio.
1-bedrooms, there is studio. I will come back and I will ask about 1 bed as well.
Studio, 65,000 to
There you go.
78,000.
There must be a 78,000 unless it's already rented.
Sorry?
Do you see another one? There must be like a 78,000 dirhams as well.
78,000 dirhams, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Like I said, I did this research in the last 2 days when we were on the roadshow. So just, can you hold that thought? So we have seen 78, we have seen 65,000. How much is that roughly in pounds? 12 to 13,500 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Right now, a studio flat in this building, in any of these other 6, 7 buildings that they have launched recently, on this map, we have 6 of them. So we have Aura, which is ready, sold out, nothing is left. They have Ariane, there is only 1 or 2 or 3 units left there. That was one of their earlier launches, like 6 months ago. So nothing there. So at the moment, we have Abraham, right? We have Nora, we have Lena, we do have Gabriel, Vares. These are the buildings that we have available right now. Is that clear?
That's clear.
A studio flat right now, the lowest price available is 580,000. Let me see if I can show you. So do you see this one? This is 590,000. Can you see my screen? Can you see the sales offer for this unit?
We can't really see your screen too much. If you took the screen share off, we might be able to.
Yeah, but can you see on your screen that I'm sharing? Can you see it on the screen share? On your screen?
Yes.
There you go. So is it clear on the screen share? Like not on my background, but on your screen share where the mouse is pointing right now, 591,000. There you go. So the price of the value of this property, the selling price, is 591,000. Let's say 600,000, and that is exactly 120,000 pounds. That's the price of this property. Do you recall just a few minutes ago, we talked about the going rate, the rental rate, annual rate in the market. How much was that?
That was, I'll tell you exactly how much that was. The 78,000 dirham a year.
Exactly. So, which is roughly, let's go with a more conservative number. 78. People will say that we're biased, and I don't think if we are, but 78,000. That's roughly 13 and a half thousand. If you multiply that 78. How much is that divided by 5? More than that.
Just to give people an idea that isn't biased, there's some at 84,000 for a studio as well. So 78,000 divided by 5 is 15,600.
There you go. 15,000 divided by 120 to 120,000 pounds. This is actually a little bit under 120,000, but let's say 120,000 because of the fluctuation. And there is also a 4% registration fee and also a 5,250 admin fee that the developer charge. That will go with every single unit that you have, whether it's a city or one bedroom or a penthouse. You have to pay these fees. So did you say 13,000 something?
15,600.
There you go. Let's say 15,600 or 15,000 divided by 120,000. What is the ROI there?
Say the numbers to me again.
At the numerator, that's 15,600.
Yeah.
And the number at the bottom, the denominator, that would be 120,000. That's the selling price of this unit right now. That is directly from the developer that you can buy. And all the money will go directly to them, to their escrow account. It's safe, it's secure. They will only access this one as the construction progresses. So, you're protected by the government. And what is the ROI in that scenario?
So you're looking at well over 10% ROI without doing the math.
Yeah, it's much more than that. 15,600. 15,600, that is the rental of a unit right now at the top of the range. Divide by 120,000.
13%.
So if it was 12,000 pounds, which would have been 16,000 dirham, divide by 120,000 pounds, which is the price of this, that would have been 10%. So 15,600 divide by 120,000. I feel like it should be a little bit more than that.
13%.
There you go. Yeah, 13% ROI. That is gross. So you do have your service charges that you have to pay, but that's about it. There is nothing else. With the purchase of every one of these units, you will be entitled to one free parking as well. So you will have an allocated, a dedicated parking space to yourself. So that if you have tenant, you can give that as well. Each unit will have all the kitchen, appliances. It's fully kitchen furnished. It's all the cabinets, everything in there. All units is like few furniture for you to furnish it. And just so you know, guys, this is only for a long-term rent. If you decide to go for short-term rent, your ability to generate more money becomes a lot higher. Normally in Dubai, if a property is operated properly, you can easily generate 25 to 35%, revenue from your short-term lets as well. How does that make sense? Why I say this is a very good deal for an investment now?
It absolutely does. Me being a potential investor, and my question to you would be, is there a lot of apartments that would be available to let, and therefore is there the tenant demand?
There is definitely tenant demand. I don't know if you know about, if you look at right now, again, I challenge you, ChatGPT, Google, can you check what is the current occupancy rate of hotels? Can you do that? I know it's high season, but if you search for the occupancy rate of the hotels right now, and I know you may argue to say this is not a hotel, but it falls under the short-term letting category. I think Dubai at the high season, it's something around 95 to 98%. Again, these are public information that you guys can Google and verify it yourself. So the demand is definitely there. There are so a place like this, it's a lot more affordable. So maybe young professionals, people who are like digital nomads, people who want to go, maybe they live in Europe, but they want to go and spend the Christmas season, that this time of year that is cooler, and just be there because they can work remotely. This is an ideal place for them. And believe me, the demand is not an issue in Dubai. And again, the reason that there is demand is because the supply is also controlled. It's not just that there is a lot of population. There isn't enough houses ready yet. And that's why the occupancy is so high. Does that make sense?
The figures are saying here completely independently, me just asking Google, for the whole of 2025, so including the low season, an average occupancy between 81 and 85%, with a total number of visitors.
This is better than I expected, to be honest. If you're looking at across the year, low
exactly. So if you take out the low season, you're looking at the numbers that you're saying, the mid 90%, and over
And
10
again,
million visitors to Dubai.
yeah, sorry. And just to make it very tangible, because sometimes I think there is this perception sometimes. I talk to people and they say, oh, Dubai is for ultra rich, it's super expensive. Just to put it in context, this is £120,000, Christian, right?
Yes.
In order to purchase it, initially you need to make a down payment of 20%. 20% of £120,000. That's just £24,000 initial down payment that you pay. And with
Yes.
that, you will own the property. If you buy a property, and I will show you a one bedroom that is £150,000 and higher, you will be also entitled to get an investment visa as well. So as soon as you pay your 20% and your 4% registration fee, which is kind of similar to stamp duty, if I had to draw a comparison, then you will be entitled to get your investment visa. So £150,000 and more. It will qualify you to get a visa, an investment visa for 2 years. And with that, you can open a bank account, you can live like a resident, get your driving license, buy a car, have access to financial facilities like credit card, or if you want to go and buy a car from a dealership with, on a car loan, on a loan, you can do that as well. And maybe for people at a higher age, this might be important to know that you will also have access to healthcare. And unlike here, I live here in the UK. My wife works for NHS. If you live there, you don't, maybe to your surprise, but you don't need to see a GP or a family doctor and then be referred for 6 months to see a specialist. It doesn't work like that. You quickly will have access to a specialist without going through all the hoops because it's private healthcare and it's very affordable there and very accessible. So
Brilliant.
having said that, 20% down payment. So you pay £24,000 initially in 240 days, which is 8 months. You pay 10%, so that's the next payment, which is £12,000. In 360 days, which is 12 months, you pay another 10%, and in 480 days, which is 16 months, your math really needs to be good to know to work at all the number of months. But you pay another 10%, and that is a total of 50% that you pay. Right? No more payment until the property is ready, which is the end of 2028 in this case. And on completion, we can facilitate a mortgage for you. That's one of the services that we do. The mortgage company will pay the balance, the remaining balance, to the developer, and the rest of it you can pay in 20 to 25 years, depending on your age and eligibility. The rest of the balance of £60,000, the 50% after that. At that point, you can take, you take possession of the property. You can live in it when you want, or if you want, or the time that you want. If you're thinking about having some sort of a hybrid model, if you want to rent it, we are more than happy to do that for you. We do have a special promotion. We are going to do that for you free of charge for the first 3 years. And if you want to do short-term let, we are also more than happy to do that for you as well. We can, list it on our own platforms, other different platforms such as Airbnb or Booking.com, and we can rent it for you as well. And in that scenario, you're looking at 25 to 35% roughly. In terms of the ROI, and in terms of the long-term rent, we already did the calculation. What was it? 13%?
13% it was, exactly.
There you go. So,
which is phenomenal, isn't it? When you compare it to some of the options in the UK, it's very, very favourable, certainly.
Yeah. So another one that I also wanted we can also talk about one more example. I know we are at the 22 minutes. We are breaking our promises, but there is another one that I'm just going to quickly show you an example of a one bedroom as well with you. So let me share my screen again. Here, this was a one bedroom. Let's see if we can find, that was a studio flat. Let's see if we can find also one bedroom as well. Well, again, the concept is very similar. Can you see this one, Christian? The one bedroom example.
Okay.
So this one, it is, well, obviously bigger. It's a one bedroom, 927,000. If you divide this one by 5, you're looking at, it's roughly £180,000. That's the value of a sort of the starting price for a one bedroom, £180,000. Again, the payment plan is very similar. The admin fee is exactly like that. Some people who prefer to buy a one bedroom because they may argue that, the admin fee being constant for a studio, one bedroom or two bedroom. Some people prefer to buy a slightly larger unit. So it would sort of translate into lesser costs per square foot. In this case, 20% of 180,000, you're looking at £36,000 initial payment. And with this unit, you will be entitled to an investment visa right away. With the previous one, that was £120,000. You don't get an investment visa. unless you buy 2 units. So it also works that way, just for the record. So you can buy multiple units, and in that scenario, you will be entitled to, what do you call it, to investment visa. If your purchase, the accumulation of the investment crosses £150,000. And again, after the 20%, which was £36,000 in this case, you will have monthly payments of 10%, which means £18,000, £18,000, £18,000 in 8 months, 12 months, and in 16 months, and no more payments until completion. And that's where the balance you can either pay cash, well, cryptocurrency, there are different options, or we can help you get a mortgage as well. That is one of our specialties for overseas investors. With that, I come to an end. If you have any question or anything like that, I'm more than happy. If you want, feel free to reach out to us so we can tell you about the return on investment for a 1-bedroom as well. The same platform, Property Finder, that you're looking at, you can also find 1-bedroom. I don't want our viewers to become too lazy, so I'm not going to talk about that one, but it's all there. Feel free to reach out to us, and we are more than happy to do a quick analysis for you and tell you why this could be a great investment if you are thinking about your money working smarter for you in Dubai.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That was really informative, and we're going to do something very, very similar for all the viewers tomorrow.
Maybe the next one we do, maybe we will do one in the UK as well. I can understand that some of the people from that part of the world, India, Nigeria, Turkey, might be interested in investments in the UK, where we are based, and we are more than happy to do one for that as well for them. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I think we'll definitely do that.
All right. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you, Christian.
Cheers. Bye-bye.